Good morning, friends. Welcome to Dr. PM Times. This is Dr. Murugesan. In this episode, I am going to mainly concentrate why obesity is more prevalent nowadays. As you all know, the incidence of obesity has almost tripled worldwide. It was 14% in the developed countries around 1980s, and now it has almost 3 times more, 42% in the developed countries like USA. Obesity is more common, especially in childhood. Childhood obesity is more common. Why we are more concerned about childhood obesity? A child which is obese around 7 to 11 years has a 33% risk of becoming obese as he or she grows as an adult. So, childhood obesity is the time when we should concentrate. And why this obesity is more common nowadays? For that, we will know, we'll go to evolution, but go back to evolution. Earlier, we had a hunter-gatherer lifestyle where we have to hunt for our food. We were nomads moving from place to place, and we had food was very scarce at that time. We had food say once a day or twice a day when food is available. Rest of the time we were moving around in search of food. So food was rare and we moved more. So when food was available, the food that we take, the excess energy is stored in triglycerides as glycogen or stored in adipose tissue, as glycogen or triglyceride, and this food is mobilized when required. So when food availability was less, when we were moving more, there was no problem of obesity at all. So when we had excess food, we stored it in the adipose tissue. When food was not available, when we are moving around, from the adipose tissue, the triglycerides are converted into fatty acid, and these fatty acids are utilized as a source of energy. And we were moving more, so there is no chance of excess accumulation of triglycerides in the adipose tissue. Whereas nowadays, the environment has changed. There is abundance everywhere. Whatever is required now, whatever is available at a phone call. So we have everything around us. So there is a problem of plenty, and added to that, our life has become more convenient. We are more sedentary now. We are reluctant to move. So both problems get compounded. Availability is more, but utilization is less. That is why the excess energy is being stored and we have a tendency to become obese. This is called environmental influence. So the very environment influences us to be obese. Why? Food is available everywhere. In every street we get food. Every street we have a bakery, a parotta stall, and a clinic and a medical shop. So we eat parotta, go to the doctor immediately the next dose, right? So food is available. And what type of food? High calorie, energy rich foods. Whatever we eat are king size now. We go to a theater, in the interval what we take? We take a bucket of popcorn. Earlier popcorn was only just a small packet, about 5 rupees or 10 rupees. But we get unlimited bucket of popcorn for around 600 rupees, and we drink this much coke to quench the thirst. Both are harmful, and even that bucket can be replaced. So how much we are taking? We are taking a bucket of popcorn and this much coke, and all these beverages have higher added sugars. The added sugars permitted per day is only 40 grams, but a small can of Pepsi alone contains this 36 grams of sugar, one small can. But what we take is this much, which is almost twice or thrice. So all these are added sugar, which adds on to the problem of energy available. Next, of course, we move very less nowadays. We don't go for preparation of food at all. Food is available ready-made, packaged food, which with high salt content and preservatives, which are very, very harmful. So we don't undergo this process of preparation of food, number one. And now, next step has evolved. We no longer go to buy the food. We just give a phone call, food is there at our doorstep. So the mobility to get the food also has stopped. So food is at doorstep. What type of food? High calorie, energy rich food, beverages with a very high added sugars. Then we have preserved packed foods, say Lay's, Kurkuri, which has a high salt content and fat, all sorts of additives, preservatives in them, which compounds and adds on to the problem. So we take more, consume more, and we are not satisfied with small portions anymore. We always have more. Number one. Number two, we started moving lesser. We don't walk to the office nowadays. There are no playgrounds in the schools now. We don't go by bus. We have our own vehicles. We don't climb up. We use the lift. We don't move from desk to talk to people. We use intercoms. And with the cell phone and video games, we seldom go out. So we don't move, and we have a lot of food. So this is called behavioral strategies. By behavior, we stopped moving. So first, there is an environmental influence which tempts us to have more than what is required, and we have a behavioral strategy where we move less, we are more brainy now, we sit and work more rather than doing physical work. Then third, the physiological influences. The influence from the brain, from the hypothalamus, now is defective. As I have already told, leptin hormone is defective. There is leptin resistance. So all these three contribute to obesity now. Environmental influence, behavioral strategy, and the physiological influences. So all these three are favorable for the tendency for a person to become obese, which is even more common in a genetically prone individual who has this OB gene, which secretes defective leptin from the adipocytes. That is why the incidence of obesity has tripled from 14% to 42%. Thank you, friends.